Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm a feisty one because I was born in 1890. But guess what? The Lord allowed me to live 90 years. So you talk about all of the other ladies here that have made history. I lived to 1980. I know I'm talking about some dates now that you know what I'm talking about. My name is Martha Euphemia Lofton Hayes, and I am the first American woman mathematician. Okay. You know what? I'm proud to stand here because I have a legacy that will die out if some people in this room won't step up and become mathematicians. I want to tell you about my family because I was born in Washington, D.C., and in my birth, there were 4 generations already living. Yes, I was born to a prominent family. My dad was a dentist. My mom worked in the church. My dad even helped to finance a number of the small businesses, black businesses, that were in Washington, D.C. But there was a hunger for the teaching of mathematics. Because you know, as black people, or African Americans, or even colored at the time, we were barely taught how to read and write, let alone how to count. And when you were from a family that had money and know how to deal with money, you were always being watched because the white man thought you were trying to take them for granted. So I'm grateful to know that my father pushed me to go to school in mathematics. I didn't graduate high school until I was 19 years old because, you see, there wasn't a lot of class work that the teachers could give a young lady of my stature. But it didn't matter to me because 4 years later, I got my college degree. I didn't wait around, I didn't step back because I knew what I wanted to do in mathematics. My father continued to support a number of the businesses, and I was able to go on to be a school teacher. Can you imagine a woman with a BS degree going on to even get a master's degree to be taught teaching first graders? First graders. But I knew that as I continued to work, that they would see my potential. I ended up developing and being the head of the Department of Mathematics in Washington, D.C. I went on to get my master's and to meet my husband, who also was an educator. He too had strives. So you see, we were both focused on educating those who didn't understand mathematics. So we had no children. So when I look back at my legacy, I didn't have children and sisters and brothers to leave it to. There weren't a lot of people who were competing with me. And that's sad to say as a woman, because even in this year of 2015, I understand that there are yet people who don't want to focus on mathematics. One thing that I'd like to talk about, though, is that I grew up during the Depression age. And I also grew up during civil rights. So as Martin Luther King and many others were coming to Washington to march, I yet took a stand because I wanted to be a part of the integration of black schools. I wanted to make sure that black students, not just poor students, had an opportunity to learn about math, about science, about counting, and to be able to engineering, and those things that they could move out in the industry on. So I'm grateful because God did allow me to live to be 90 years old. But yet in the 80s, I struggled, even on my deathbed, because I died of a stroke. But yet in the 80s, I came to learn of a program that was being established, and it's called the STEM program. Science, technology, engineering, and math. So I pray that as my body lays, I have no legacy. I can leave a $700,000 diary for scholarships, for those who want to go on in mathematics. I gave up the name Martha. It seemed like a common slave name, but I stand proud as Euphemia, the first black woman mathematician. I obtained a PhD. I didn't stop at a BA. I didn't stop at a master's. For women, I ask you to stand strong. Get your PhD, because there was no stopping me and there will be no stopping you.